Hey, what's up, guys? Hope all of you are safe and healthy. Okay, I am back again, and in this video, we will discuss about setting up the Visual Studio for AWS Lambda. So it's we will discuss how to set up the environment, Visual Studio environment, in order to make it come ready for AWS Lambda function development or any other AWS any other services or utilities which conjunction of AWS, okay, that we can program in Visual Studio. Okay, so that is the agenda of this video, and what we will do, we will install the AWS extension, AWS Toolkit extension in Visual Studio. We will develop the first Lambda function, and we will also be able to debug that function locally, and after that we will publish that Lambda function on AWS console. Okay, so all these steps we will go through, and we'll see how it works. Okay, yeah. So let us start. So in order to start development with AWS Lambda in Visual Studio, make sure that Visual Studio is installed in your machine. Okay, so I have got Visual Studio 2022 installed in my machine. Okay, and after that, what we have to do, like there's an extension toolkit from AWS that we need to install in Visual Studio. So the name of the extension is AWS Toolkit with Amazon Q. Okay, so basically, if you will find with AWS Toolkit for Visual Studio, you can also find this link on the Google, and you can find this this toolkit, and you can download this. Okay, this setup will be downloaded on your machine, and you can install that setup. Okay, once that this setup is installed, okay, your Visual Studio will be able to connect with AWS services with the help of this extension. Okay, like this extension is there, like AWS Toolkit. Okay, manage, if you go on the manage extension, and you can search here AWS Toolkit for Visual Studio. Okay, so this is the name of the toolkit, AWS Toolkit for Amazon Q. Okay, you can download and install this toolkit on your machine. Okay, so we already have downloaded this toolkit in my Visual Studio, so it is already enabled. Okay, but for if you are going to develop first time and your machines, you have to do all these steps, like you have to install this extension for Visual Studio in your machine. Okay, so that is the one thing. Once this is installed, you can go here and you can start creating a new project. Okay, so one thing before creating a new project, okay, and let me clear one thing. Once this extension is installed, we need to connect this extension, or we need to sync this extension to our AWS credential. Okay, so that will be the second step. So on your AWS console, if you have created your user, okay, not from the root user but an IAM user, you create an IAM user. Okay, so I have created an IAM user here with my name, and if I'll go inside this, okay, I need to enable the programmatic access, okay, with the help of access keys. Okay, so that is that you can find here in the security credential. Okay, this is the access keys section. So I think it allows you to create 2 access keys. So actually I already have created, so this button is enabled. Okay, and I have downloaded that. Okay, but for the first time, if you will go there, this create access key button will be enabled. You can create the access keys, and you will get to download that access key. That will be a JSON file with the credential that will be downloaded on the machine, on your machine, and basically it contains the access key and the secret key. Okay, against this AWS user. Okay, and that credential file is downloaded on your machine in the form of JSON. Okay, so I have downloaded this. Basically, it contains the keys. Okay, that helps the extension, AWS extension, to connect to Visual Studio. Okay, so once you have created this access key and downloaded on your machine, what you have to do, you go there in extension, AWS Toolkit, and getting started. Okay, you can sign in here. Okay, and select this option, IAM user profile, and import from CSV file. Okay, for the credential, click this option, and you select your AWS access key credential file that you have downloaded from AWS console, and click open. Okay, it will automatically fill the access keys and secret keys. It will not be visible to you here. And okay, and add a new profile. Okay, this profile is already added, so that's why this button is not being enabled, because previously I have already added this profile. And given this profile, you can give the name of the profile here, profile name, like let me add it again, AWS this access profile. Okay, I already have added this profile with a different name. Okay, so with this name here, but again I'm adding you just for your reference. Okay, and click connect. Okay, yeah. So now this AWS Toolkit extension is connected to my AWS credential and sync with AWS console. Okay, you can see this green tick mark here that it is connected with the AWS. Okay, now we are all set to start the project, develop a AWS Lambda project or any project in the Visual Studio connected to any AWS services. Okay, so that was it. And so let me start a new project here now. I'm starting a new project. Okay, and you will see this this template, project template, AWS Lambda project.NET Core. Okay, so this is because that we already have installed that extension. Okay, that enables this template to appear here, and I'll click this, click next. Okay, you can give it a name, AWS Lambda demo project. Okay, you select the location where you want to store this Visual Studio project or other properties. Just click create. Okay, and now this pop-up will appear, new AWS Lambda C# projects. Okay, so these are the AWS Lambda blueprints. Okay, that is available in this extension. There are, as we discussed earlier, like we can develop AWS Lambda function in order to connect with any AWS services like AWS storage, AWS SNS, okay, and DynamoDB, simple application load balancer, so SQS, simple queue services. Okay, so and various other services also. Okay, so there are already templates are ready. Okay, that you can select in order to develop the Lambda function. So whatever service you have to develop, whatever Lambda function you want to develop with conjunction of any AWS services. So all the blueprints or the templates you will find here. Okay, so all these are the advanced topics we will see one by one later on. Okay, not in this video we can cover. So for now we will just select the empty function as of now. Okay, let us understand the basic structure and the working of the Lambda function. So we selected this empty function and click finish. Okay, so it is configuring the project. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, so this project is configured here. Okay, so it has all the dependencies like packages, AWS Lambda core package. Okay, and some Lambda serialization, and it has .NET framework itself, and launch setting. It has launch settings is JSON file and the AWS Lambda tool definitions. Okay, so this is the JSON file. Okay, basically what profile it is using. Okay, and which region we are going to develop the function. And you can change this region when you are we will publish the function. Then we can at that time we can select different region. Okay, function runtime what we are using. Okay, and the name of the handler, the function handler. Okay, function handler is the name is actually this one, like it is the function handler file, and the within the function itself. Okay, so this is the function.cs file. That's the main executable block. You can write here. That's the main function body. Okay, this body contains two parameters like string input and the lambda context. Okay, so input is the variable or the request by which we can pass any input to this function block. Right, if you want to pass any parameters or something, that will be passed through this event. Okay, this input itself. But when you will develop the function for any other connected AWS services like AWS storage, DynamoDB, or SQS, then you will get this input in the form of event object. Okay, so that will be input in that case. But as we have selected a basic template here, so it is a string input. Okay, so what this basic skeleton is doing, it is just taking the input and it is returning the input itself. Okay, so just to understand this, let me modify this one. Like I'll put some name in the input, and I want the function to greet us. Okay, with the given name. Okay, I did a small change here. Okay, and let me build this. Okay, so project is built, has been built. Now you can test this function locally here. So this tool, yeah, you can see here at the top, like mock lambda test tool. This tool is installed uh, because of this extension we already have installed. So it also gives us this testing tool. So you can click here, and it will give a browser interface to test this lambda function, right? So it is showing me like what the configuration file is there, what is the function handler, what credential profile it is using, what is the reason. Okay, example request, all these things are there. Okay, so as it's the basic lambda template, so we can enter our input here. Okay, so within double quote we enter our name, like let me enter my name here and execute function. Okay, so it is the output like welcome Krishna. Okay, so as you can see, we have modified our code here, and we can getting the output. Okay, so it's a basic input output, and it's the lambda context. Lambda, see, some comment is given here. Input, that's this event for the lambda function handler to process. Okay, it is the event, as we discussed. It is the event or the input data that lambda function will process. That is within the input, and the context is a context object, lambda context, that gives us feature to enable logging. Okay, and describing the lambda environment. Okay, so all the lambda environment properties and the logging methods are available within this context object here. So let me write a logging line here. You can write context dot logger dot log or log line, anything, or log information, log error. Okay, log critical debug. Okay, all these methods you can use. So I'm just writing a log line here. Okay, this is my first lambda function statement. Okay, So let me save this, stop it, and rebuild it again. Okay, rerun it. Okay, it automatically will rebuild itself. So I just given the input and click on execute button. Okay, so I think there is some error. Okay, the error is that like we have not put the input into the double quote here. So that's the issue. Okay, yeah. So it's the output is welcome JSON, and the log information is here that we have given the log statement that this is my first Lambda function logger statement. Okay, so we got it like this context object helps us to we got the make the logging, and and this input is the object where we can pass the input statement, right? So it's a simple, very simple and a basic Lambda function. We will see the advanced functionality also in coming videos. Okay, but this was only to understand how to install the extension in Visual Studio, how to connect the extension to AWS credential. Okay, AWS sync that AWS extension toolkit with the AWS login credentials, and developing a basic simple Lambda function. Okay, so to sync this extension to AWS console, why that is required? That is required like when we will publish this video, this function, sorry, this function to AWS. Okay, that extension should be connected with your credential so that it could publish the function in your management console, AWS Lambda console. Okay, so I'll show you that also. Let me publish this method to function to AWS Lambda. So there's a function you can see here, publish to AWS Lambda. You have to click this, just right click here on the solution or the in the project itself. Okay, yeah, publish to AWS Lambda. You will get this pop-up screen. Okay, your profile is selected here. You can select the region, that in which region you want to publish your Lambda function. So for me, I will choose Asia Pacific Mumbai. Okay, and package type is zip. The runtime is .NET Core. Okay, because we are developing the function in .NET. Okay, so and the name of the function we can give here. Let me give the name function func hello world. Okay, I've given this name, and you can write any description here. This is my first Lambda function. Okay, and click next. Okay, so these are the default one, like 512 MB memory. The max default timeout is 30 seconds for this function. Because we don't have any longer code here, we are just taking one input and printing that statement back. So 30 seconds is quite enough. Okay, not even it will take that much of time. Okay, but further we can increase this to 900 seconds. I think 50 seconds the maximum execution timeout is we can set is 50 seconds, 50 minutes, 15 minutes. Sorry. Okay, yeah, and if your function access resources in a VPC, select the list of subnets and security group IDs. These must belong to the same VPC. Okay, so I don't need to do here as of now, because if we are developing the Lambda function and that is accessing some other resources in AWS, that is in different in a VPC or any subnet. Okay, within any subnet itself. Okay, and that is already secured there. In that case, we need to because Lambda functions runs in the global network of AWS. Okay, and if you are connecting your Lambda function to any database that is in the private network of AWS, okay, so then the Lambda function will not have the internet access. So in that case, what we have to do, like we have to give the VPC access. Okay, or we have to specify the subnet. Okay, even that is a different procedure. Okay, because connecting database in the private subnet from any global services would need a NAT gateway to be installed. Okay, that's the a completely different topic. So we are not going to discuss that here. Okay, later on we can discuss in some different topic. So that's the thing. Let me just what is this role name? Yeah, we have to specify a execution role. As we discussed in the previous videos also, we need to give a Lambda function a execution role. Okay, in order to work. So I already have got one, like created it, AWS Lambda execution role. I'll select this role. Okay, and this section is for the environment variable definition section. If our function or the code is using any environment variable, okay, like if you have to some database connection string you want to store, or some secrets or say API secrets that we can specify here. Okay, you can give the key and the values. Okay, okay, this one also we will discuss in upcoming videos. Okay, not in this video as of now. Okay, so that is one of the feature, and just click upload. Okay, it is uploading the function. Okay, yeah, so the function had been deployed on AWS Lambda console. Okay, so if we go on the Lambda console itself, okay, on AWS console, right here Lambda. Okay, go inside the Lambda console. Okay, you can see we can't find the function name. It is the function that we already have. I have created earlier, but what I have deployed here, the my function just now I have created, that is not being visible here. Okay, can you guess why that is happening? Okay. So that is because the region is selected here. It is not Virginia, but I have published my function in Mumbai region. Okay, so I'll select here Asia Pacific Mumbai region. Okay, and here we can see the function hello world. This is the description I have created. Some other functions I have created earlier. Okay, so those are also listed here. But this one, a minute ago, I have published this function. Okay, this is so it is available here. You can click this function, and yeah, so it's available here. If you want to test the function from here itself, you can also test itself. Okay, so let me test it. Okay, so welcome Jason. Okay, and all the request details it is given here, the output, like request ID, execution timeout. Okay, function version, duration, how much duration it took one. Okay, and max memory used. Okay, and these are the some logging itself. What is the request ID, start request ID, end request ID. Okay, all these details about the some meta details about the function execution is available here. Okay, so that was it. Like in this video we have learned like how to install AWS extension in Visual Studio to make a Visual Studio enable for AWS Lambda development. Okay, we have connected our AWS Toolkit extension to our AWS credential, and we have developed a basic Lambda function. Okay, and we have just published the function. So that was the agenda of this video. Okay, stay connected for further more advanced videos and interesting examples with the AWS Lambda. Okay, stay healthy, stay safe. Okay, thank you very much as of now. Thank you.